Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be hitting on the second punk rock album by Machine Gun Kelly. Honestly, I didn't think this was as bad as his 2020 release, Ticket to My Downfall, but I still didn't feel mainstream sellout was a great album. There are moments I do enjoy on the album. However, I didn't feel there were many times where it felt great lyrically and instrumentally. I didn't feel the production was too horrible, but at times it's not really the best. I felt like he was being carried by Travis Barker at certain points on the album, and Travis Barker, he appears on this album again. He previously worked with Machine Gun Kelly on his 2020 release, Tickets to My Downfall. This is the second album between the two, which I just mentioned. And that album, Tickets to My Downfall, was very successful upon release and also saw him leap from rap to this punk rock, pop punk type genre. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop into it's originally named Born with Horns. This is a sixth studio album that was released on March 25th, 2022. Recently, a deluxe edition was released on June 24th, but I won't be covering any of those tracks today in this video. The album contains 16 tracks with a runtime of about 40 minutes. Honestly, I feel a lot of these tracks were made for streaming purposes to try and boost the popularity of the album, as the majority of the tracks barely top 2 to 2.5 minutes. The album also includes 5 singles. They are Paper Cuts, Emo, Girl with Willow, A with Lil Wayne, Maybe with Bring Me the Horizon, and Makeup Sex with Black Bear. Collaborations on this album include Bring Me the Horizon, Black Bear, Willow, Ian Dior, Gunna, Young Thug, Landon Barker, and Lil Wayne, who appears twice on the album. There's also an uncredited feature from Pete Davidson on Wall of Fame interlude. Overall, I didn't find much that really stood out to me on the album. I feel he's attempting to do this sort of wash, rinse, repeat cycle and push out as many punk rock songs and albums as he possibly can. I honestly feel some of the lyrics are generic as well as questionable. I feel there wasn't as much thought into them besides this whole vibe where you feel you aren't as great as you think you are. Honestly, the only tracks I thought stood out the most are Sid and Nancy and Twin Flame, with them being the closing tracks on the album. As much as I've enjoyed Lil Wayne over the years, I feel in recent years he's been on feature on tracks. I feel he doesn't have that vibe as he used to, where you thought his verse was going to be so good or, great. And more, I feel he's trying to say what he can while not repeating something he said throughout his career over the past 30 years. And I feel a bunch of his guest features a more heavily depend on auto-tune as well, and I'm like, man, what's the point of that? I know it's more for effects, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of auto-tune if it's, obvious. Now, let's hop into this spectacular train wreck of a mess album and see if I even bother covering a fair amount of tracks for your entertainment, say, or if I'm just going to cut off here and have my little background and thoughts section of the video longer than this. We start off with the original title track, Born with Horns. We start off with such a lovely track. I love that monotonous chorus with his vocals. It was so nice to listen to. Lyrically, we start off with how much his life fucking sucks. It sucks so much, man. Did I mention how much his life sucks already? Oh yeah, that's how repetitive I thought this track was as well. God save me from this album. Honestly, I didn't feel this was a bad track. This is one of the few I actually thought was halfway decent. I find the lyrics kinda dense, but I feel the instrumental kinda kicks ass. We're all just lost in the world and don't know where we belong. We all need someone. We may need someone to save us. This won't be too bad. We got our first feature on Maybe. It is Bring Me the Horizon. I thought they were decent on this track. I felt one of the best parts of the track was how their vocals seemed to do well together. I didn't think the instrumental was too harsh. Dealer is the first of two tracks we get with Lil Wayne. I'm not sure if it could be any worse than this. I didn't feel either of them had the best lyrics. The only thing I found interesting is that Mike Posner had a credit for writing this track. You guys may remember him from his hits Cooler Than Me and I Took a Pill in Ibiza Seed Remix. Anyways, I didn't feel Lil Wayne's verse was the best as we go from selling his soul to this girl to practically taking drugs off her ass. Honestly, I didn't mind Wall of Fame interlude, but I thought was they're just to add on another 30 seconds to the album. Now, time for the real title track, Mainstream Sellout. Honestly, I loved the monotonal vocals again. It really went well. Makeup Sucks with Black Bear and Emo Girl with Willow weren't bad, but I didn't feel they were two of the best tracks here on the album. I never really cared for Paper Cuts since first time I've heard it months ago. I honestly thought the track was generic vocally. I thought he was just lacking, didn't really care for some little screams throughout the track either, and yeah, on the favorable side though, I kind of liked how this is the album edit version. I believe the other version that's out there is a minute or two longer than what appears here on the album. A is the second track with Lil Wayne. I didn't mind the trap type be added to the track, but I felt lyrically and vocally it sounded repetitive. I didn't mind Wayne's second appearance, but I didn't feel this was one of his best either. Now, before I drag this on for too much longer, I'll just close this out with Twin Flame. I feel this was one of the best tracks on the album. It is the longest track as well, nearing almost 4 minutes. This actually feels like something I've been waiting for on the entire album, and takes them, like 16 tracks to even warm up to get to this point. It has more of a laid-back feel to it than all the other tracks on the album, which are meant to be in your face and loud, like the whole punk rock genre is typically supposed to be like. I thought it was just a decent change, even though I felt he wasn't the best with vocals on this track. I feel there were some decent lyrics. I feel it's mainly meaning the one of your dreams, that person who means something to you, who he would do anything for. I also kind of enjoyed that instrumental outro for like the last minute and a half of the track. Really, the only tracks I enjoyed the most are Twin Flame and Sit and Nancy. I'll be giving this wonderful album a 2.5 out of 5. I felt there were times where it was good, but I felt it was lacking creatively in its lyrics on the majority of the tracks. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Next week, I'll be reviewing Mercury at 2 by Imagine Dragons, and on Saturday, I'll attempt to look at Music to Be Murdered by Eminem.